family. We hope say una all they do fine and una week we go fine and the weekend self not being get any problem at all. We don't come again today with another topic. Say when we they do that topic, they just concentrate on the big people that side. We they talk about picking them as well. So today we want to talk about special needs picking the way in a salon and how people then they perceive disability. By perceive and know how people then they look at disability, how people then they know say this speaking gets special needs. So with the studio today with me, now Mrs. Aisha Bangura, we're now a trained nurse na the UK, a practice nursing for a while. Then it goes study back, it become a teacher now in a lecturer. Instead of the salon, they do all their work here so because instead of the passion for special needs. Special needs na picking their way born with a difference. When we say special needs, na picking their way born, where not they do things the way the normal picking they do. So now them we they call special needs. So today are today for talk to we a bit about in work in a salon where you consider special needs speaking here so and how we they look at disability in our communities. So I go one for Meki introduce himself and Meki say hello to the audience and to viewers family.
Nakusheo, my name is Aisha, and welcome. Thank you, Ms. Hyde, for making join in at this health show. And when I all share when they listen to this program, just like Salone introduced me, I'll be lecturer in the UK. I run this salon for a year and a half. I work with special needs speaking men as from school. Don't they support some teacher them for let them focus on special needs. And I just want to make an awareness for let people continue to be aware, say picking their biggest special needs, they're special, but also you need to support them. And not for ignore them and begin call their names.
Okay, so I go one for me. You tell we a bit on what we they call special needs, so that we people that way now they clear and they understand will know what we need. When we say picking special needs speaking, what do we mean?
Well, special needs speaking na picking way not a do thing like a normal, but picking way at the same age. For example, you get two in a way all 5. One they talk, one not they talk. So the one way not they talk, it gets special needs. The other one you could say like some picking there, now they're able to lead. You could say we begin for begin 2 for begin talk. So it may be about 4, 5 for begin read. Again with spellings for begin write. So some picking away is slow now because they are special needs they get. And so beginning again we go school but they're not able to pick up very early, they get special needs. Special needs very broad because some picking you will notice say they get the way they look. Like Down syndrome, you will see say them different. Again, autism, you will see say them behavior different. But some like dyslexia, sometimes and they when an educational disability, because na salon we day it's very difficult for let them say that disability they get. First, maybe if somebody from overseas will get a specialist say or we get a form of assessment, we go assess that person there based on the delay we get, then you go diagnose. But again, it will get some things of not able to talk or not able to dress himself, not able to wash himself. Where person will get a similar age, they do all that in a day. Again, what you may realize, we are looking at the census 2015 salon. They put special needs with mental health. Now the confusion, because I would say not confusion, because now 2 different illnesses and they are 2 different diagnosis them. So what if we get mental health, now person way now it gets a health problem, we go well. But somebody will get a disability, if not special needs, it not get for well. And not to sick is sick. So we get a three different parts that we they talk about: disability, mental health, and special needs. And it's very clear the difference with the 3. But unfortunately, salon, then they put them all in a one place. You know, like somebody when not able to hear, it will fall under disability. Somebody when not able to talk, it will fall under disability. But if he able intellectually understand you, then it just get disability, it not get special needs. So again, very in a thin line because some people can get disability, but they don't get special needs. So, but something and they, because of all the difference, they can just put in a one umbrella mental, intellectual, or mental disability. So, meaning you get a difficulty in processing information or understanding simple instructions.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Aisha. Now, in the SALONE community, we dey try for understand wetin are special needs, and we dey raise awareness about disability today, especially amongst we pikin in a salon. We dey see some people and they born pikin dem just because that pikin dey different, then they treat am differently, na the family. Pikin dey wey you talk about dyslexic. People dem go want for know wetin na that because dem can always tell me of architect, dem big word, and dem can say dem people dem na village, you know, sabi that name. But pikin dem dey wey we dey say this person here, even big people dem when we dey university na the UK, we get big people dem wey dey tell you say we no able for read, we no able for spell. So I just want let you throw a little bit of light on that because when we say dyslexic, people dem go say who's that big word that name. But we get with pikin dem and we host them right now where we know say no dey spell, they're not able for read, and some dey kid and we self dey give them that stigmatization, you fool, you this, you that, we dey call them names. So I want you to throw a bit of light on that before we again.
Well, when you look at dyslexic, then call them an educational disability. The reason why we then put out with education because most people we get dyslexic, now they read and they write, now they're not able. Or something and they wouldn't see the word, they're not able to pronounce the word properly. So that is the big problem. And so again, the problem is the need for, if they go to school, then paper them need for being a different color. Because sometimes they see the words then at the paper. So like if then they go to school, you give them white paper, like you always say dyslexia, people get green, blue, colorful paper. Just like somebody will get dementia, like old person will get dementia. If you put in food in a white plate, because of the part of the brain where affected, they see the food. I make them not eat. And I make them can lose a lot of weight. So it's a somebody now educate, able to read, so they're not able to write, or sometimes the spelling, they're able to spell word properly. But it don't mean say a fool. It just means say it need extra support. It just means say it need maybe one-to-one a class. It will be very go pay attention. It will very because it is shame. Two, sometimes you they teach, you don't understand what you they teach. But you know go one tell you. So for that, you go to come on a class, you go to hamburger that picking there, you go to go on the table, you go do all kind of things just for no more let it cause a bit of friction or make it cause confusion in the class. So nobody no pay attention to that. So if you get picking there, if you're a teacher, you get picking of that nature, they most of the time now for make sure say you school the trainer on different disability because then again other issue where some school and we say they get specialists, but if you examine the specialism and the qualification of the person them, they don't really understand how to work with picking their way. We will say get behavior problem or picking their way, not able to read, not able to write. And with SALONE again, then if you know you go fail, then sometimes you try for go school. Not knowing say not a fool, but they just need for do some assessment, they just need for give one-to-one a class, and they just need for make sure say they pay a little bit more attention to you. Okay. So now the difference than the
okay, thank you very much, Ms. Aisha. So you work in a salon, like where they come, where they raise diabetes awareness for NCDs, when are the non-communicable disease. You said, doctor, you don't work now a cluster of environments them or settings them. You get people the way they work with the communities them. I want for me to a little bit of light. If we don't really see picking them where they suffer severe mental illness.
Well, again, I will go not to mental illness. we look at more on this learning disability because we are focused on learning disability.
Okay.
Then we still may get some mental health problem.
Okay.
Just like anybody else or any Pekin way will get mental health problem. But more than get to learning, then Boku. Because the area, obviously, before, I mean, they support one school, but I'm not in the school anymore. Again, they do some work in the weekend where you get one or two picking there. When a weekend school, we get disability, we get one or two. At the moment, also they support some picking them on 1 day a week. Now the Moriton community area for Aba and around the Aqua area, they picking them Boko. And unfortunately, if we look at the statistics, at least 30% of them picking them in go school. The reason why making them not go school now because either their parents they're not able to afford for them or they don't go school, then they don't get them at school because the teacher they're not able to manage them. So there are two different, or maybe their parents and the afraid say if I can't go school, I will go la farm, then go bitam. I've been given story where somebody tell me say he pull him in a private school, he can't go government school. Where he go there one day, he meets the picking and beaten and taking lunch, then stripper naked, they begin laugh just because he gets a disability. You might make for pulling picking at that school, and I'm private, but if you're not able to afford private school, you they keep an house. And when they keep an house, unfortunately, the picking or they thrive. In speech, if most picking don't meet so far in the area, they're mainly in a speech, they know they talk. They're 8, 7, but they know they talk. But they're able to do everything else. We meet one picking last week, Friday, we say, where in Mama tell we say, it's a big cook, 8. You want cook, yes. You get water all. You want try for cook, yes. So they get the ability, but now the parents there and the environment, the community, get for support them picking it. They not look there and not empower them or not help them. If they want to learn for cook like anybody else, play cook. Also because they know they talk, you just push them in a corner and say, okay, you go sit on a corner, you don't have to do. Because at that idea, or maybe somebody say, oh well, when the moon they come out, they go. Then what? Then they're hurtful to the parents there because most parents then they blame themselves. If you look at Down syndrome, most of the genes from Down syndrome are from the mama come out. As much as even if the papa older, but most of the genes are the mama. And the cause is very difficult for say why a born picking so. In Africa again, all thing a witch, all thing a juju, all thing because your mama don't do this, your papa don't do that. Forgetting say even when you go in America, in Australia, in Canada, you get boku picking them. Where say then that the ancestors don't reach or so we get for really, we get our Soriat. Soriat for the mommy and Soriat for the picking them.
Yes, so now that make we dey raise the awareness today on VOS TV. We want for the people that know say them picking what they call fulu, or this in head no day because they get Down syndrome. And some people then they serve then they born them picking and they always side them born them, they see them picking and they survive. We don't know what can go on at that place where they picking and they born them, but they not can survive safe. Then you go see people that begin say, hey, that person they don't born 1 and 2, but the picking them when they born a devil picking them. When they picking them, nobody know what happened to the picking them, because the awareness now they say that picking them, although you go born I get Down syndrome or you go born you get other deformities or other disabilities, it's still got the rights for leave. It's only that we in SALONE and now we get lots of special schools. And we the parents them back, we they really show differences in them picking a day. If you not a mama, you born picking way different in color like what we call them juice or albino, you go see them go treat that picking a different because of in color different from the other company them. And now the same mama and papa born them. My friend they will get school na bo, he get special needs school na bo, where he go picking at the community and bring them. Now America them so he get in picking Joseph, he call the place I think Joseph's place of hope, something like that. And they do very well. He tell me a story where he gets one picking where they all been they go mainstream school. But this speaking where in gets the autism, autism this speaking again, where in the go school, when SUS introduces child. Now so the parents and left her for make it go. It take that picking they therefore go talk to the parents and say, oh, una get like 2 3 pikin dem, but we dey see where dem all dey go school, dem neat. Why make na dis dey go school with cheche because una don see say there's no future in am and una no get am the chance. E take dat pikin dey put am in school. When me and to visit the school 2 years ago, wey the love wey dem dey show dem pikin dem dey, if you see wey dey hug dat woman, if you see sit down at table dey eat im cornflakes na morning. So we the parents sef we get a very role, a very big role for play for let we make dem pikin dem dey feel say dem belong to we, na unfortunate say dem come out that way dey. So we get for left the stigmatization, we get for left for be judgmental and treat them all the same. Because even now, we don't see lots of people in the born pikin away who say get a spectrum of autism. Waiting at the thing where they happen now. We not been getting picky as soon as salon, or we not be know about autism. But now it don't come out. I want to use 2-3 minutes light on that. Then we welcome we guests and we watch we now.
Autism always been there. Well, I don't say the issue. The problem is we not been take notice of them.
Okay.
We not been take, and nobody not been the awareness not been there. Nobody not been there. Like in London, for instance, and they compare, and not to comparison. I don't say example. London, where you do nursing, we get 4 streams. We get mental health, we get learning disability nurse, we get children, we get adults. So that's for the health perspective. Even with social workers then they specialize in adults, and they specialize in learning disability, and they specialize in mental health.
Yes.
So from day one, the professional they already there.
Yes.
So therefore, they begin to be always there. But because SALONE, now recently said they begin do the mental health training now. But learning disability nurses, they're not there at all on SALONE. No, they don't do that training. I know they do in Ghana, but I know say SALONE, they don't do it.
Okay.
So for that reason, so if the doctor will see the pikin, no identify say any other professional there, and the mastership, I not forget to mention the good work of the mastership. Because most of the pikin who I don't meet in the area where they do 1 day week support, then they go mastership for physiotherapists. So the mastership and every Wednesday, the specialist are there. Because a day with the mastership can actually go around the local area, collect or look to the parents them with their special needs and provide the service.
Okay.
So now because of that, make the awareness more people and they see them more they can do.
Okay.
But because if nobody not been there with they diagnose them, nobody not they provide support, the picking them in there, but them in undercover.
Okay. Yes. So thank you very much for that. We want to see if we get people that we don't come join we, whether not from the VOS family or other people them from just people that when they watch me on Facebook. We want for welcome una all, una sending una contributions. These are the health show with me, Salome Heights, una weekly presenter, and with me today, na Miss Aisha Bangura, when a trained nurse at UK, but we don't have the nursing GUI. It's a one for teach, now in a lecture now, but they do lots of work with beginner we get disability and special needs, begin them in your little experience where you go learn. They don't come and they give back to the community. Like I always say to we, the diaspora and them, anything where you learn, come back to Mama Salon. We need all man for come and do small work now in your community. So the one that we don't can join we want for say, welcome to una. If una want for call in, the numbers then there, the toll free number then there, the WhatsApp number there, una call and make una your contribution. So today we will talk about, okay, Khadija to come and say hello. Janet Matamusa, Atoka say definition of dyslexia, a general term for disorders that involve difficulty in learning to read or interpret words, letters, and other symbols, but that do not affect general intelligence. Of course, now that's what they try for say. You're not able for spell or sabi for read at that point, but not because he full, he will get other side of in your body, we will excel in other things then. So thank you very much, Janet, and welcome. We welcome una already join you, una send you una comments there. I mean, good evening, VOS, good evening, I mean, Una joining, una share the video. Today we dey talk about learning about disabilities and special needs in Sierra Leone. Okay, Janet, hello. Selu, inequality and equity matter. Yes, of course. So now this they happen. Autism is a lifelong developmental disability that affects how people perceive the world and interact with others. Autistic people see, hear, feel the world differently to other people. If you are autistic, you are autistic for life. Autism is not an illness or disease and cannot be cured. That's very true, and we glad for that contribution. Telo Kaba, I believe the awareness strategy will have a huge impact if the Ministry of Education is fully involved. Now that's what they do. So we go left the raise the awareness here, so because lots of the things that when they happen now, we don't talk say we not be know about that. Like UK, I go tell you say if you give your pikin the 3 vaccines and the middle, the mumps and the rubella, when at the MMR, now they make some people them pikin they get autism. We don't make again. Lots of people now they go get them pikin them vaccinated against them 3 illnesses they day. But SALONE, we don't know. And like way Mrs. Bangura say, then disabilities, the other special needs, they have been done there from time in memorial. But because we not being get the awareness, we not being the take them picking as so serious. But now with people that like Attila, when I be a blind person, he gets up, he fights for disability. The awareness done there are lots of things so disabled people then they do now. They get forums so they get groups that where they don't join, they get NGOs that where they don't form just for the rights of this disability or people where they suffer from disability. We want to commend them. We don't do that because like when you say picking way autistic, not something where you they cure, not something where you get for live with. So let we leave this stigmatization, let we leave they call their names. Again, I want to ask, making do lots of things for diabetes, hypertension, more the non-communicable diseases. You're not a nurse. Although you know practice nursing now, you're not ex-nurse, but once you're not nurse, they say you always be a nurse. If you don't have community, somebody is sick, you must give that you small allowance there or advice for say, hey, this week body look one more, go and go hospital, or this not get and this not get and that. You go still do your small nursing thing there. Same way, if you're not a teacher, you always get for be a teacher. As mama, you're not a teacher, you're not a doctor, you're not a nurse, you're not all things. So now, they pick away, you they go around and then communities that they see. Picking that they will get their special needs or their disability away, they suffer at the same time from their non-communicable disease, like diabetes, the hypertension, the asthmas, the lung disease. When I don't meet speaking that we get their special needs.
You're going picking their who they work with because obviously as much as I was a nurse, I also mean I be community nurse in London.
Okay.
So community nursing is mainly, I don't say I did practice here, but it's obviously say a nurse is always a nurse. Most of the majority of picking who they meet here now, then get speech delay. For that reason, the 3 who they work with now, they get problem with swallowing. They're not they chew them food. So for that reason, that will cause a lot of problems internally because if you don't chew your food, you don't swallow. So there might be some issue, not so because they're not able to chew, but because of the disability, that message not a pass.
Can't say for chew. Yes.
So but again, we talk about most of the people they work with a very from a poor community.
Yeah.
So for let them go to doctor and let the doctor say, okay, if there's any specialist to check why you know will purify the food because if somebody not able to charm, they consistently they get for each other swallow, that they go affect them internally.
Yes.
So down in the area again, why they try for see if I will contact a pediatrician. May I don't depend on pediatrician we not salon person in America. So I will WhatsApp or email or Facebook ask and say which advice you will give me.
Yeah.
Because obviously we provide at the moment I focus on the community support. So it could be portage kind of support. So we're going to the people environment. The plan is forget the center. Not a school, because me, as much as I believe they need a school, but I believe say we need to provide a quality learning environment to enhance their life. It could be life skills, to make sure they feel that self-esteem worthy. And they could still identify mainstream school or special needs school, that is not a problem. But I think it's more like to say, okay, you able to do this.
Yes.
And for the mama, they get confident for saying, be able to do this. So there's a lot of health issues relating to people with, even with Down syndrome, they'll have a hole in their heart.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would have the hormone system will be very hyperactive. With autism, they'll have behavior difficulties. They will have health problem, diabetes, high blood pressure, all the health issues. It's a combination of both. So, but it's just mental health that they get. But because they know they talk, you cannot diagnose somebody with a mental health problem if they don't tell you, say they hear voices, or they don't tell you, say there's something wrong. So that's the reason why they don't go. Yes, they do have all. But again, we therefore look at picking from an individual basis.
Yes.
Because all picking different.
Yes.
And all picking, they deal with the situation differently.
Yes. So thank you very much, Mrs. Aisha Bangura. Today we raise awareness of special needs and disability in a salon. We know, say, if you walk with streets of Freetown, and also just the physical disability where they see people that sit down and then they push share where they make some, then and then self maker, so then they make her out of wood. You they see some way get wheelchair them way they don't even outgrow the wheelchair. You will see big person inside small wheelchair. Because when they talk about disability, what they can straight now the typical Sierra Leonean in mind. That's somebody who no able waka, that's somebody who crippled, who in a wheelchair. So now this are the thing where make we they talk say picking and they will get special needs, will get a disability. Not to say you only be a disability person or you na person where they will class as disabled because you wheelchair bound or because you just in a hose or because you blind or because you deaf. All that thing and the way they happen. Even in like what they call people them juice, whether they born them, they your color different, they're black, but they're not white, they're not black, because not so with my color they get, and they don't get black man color, they get that in between. When again faulty genes, now they cause and they call them the albinos, not a disability, but we don't know. We they call them names, when they yeah, they pass fast, we get them what they call them. Beginner they were really hyperactive in a class, they're very destructive. And if teachers themselves not aware, say they 10 years old day, they're not ready training, they're not able for handle them beginner. They just like when we say raise awareness of type 1 diabetes, where teacher go there, this weekend honestly they can't say teacher want go peace, teacher want go drink water, they sleep in a class. Teacher, I know they see the blackboard, you they beat away, they say, I know they see the blackboard. You know, inside the diabetes, you get blood, vision, glucose down there at the lens of the eye. So say they feel for go piece every minute. If you not let go, you wet himself, na class, or na shame am. So if we not raise all that small awareness here, so we people in a salon go always stay in darkness for that kind of thing here. So the world is so advanced now. Although salon again, when you say technology, all man gets mobile phone, all man get gadgets. You they see people their mobile phone, now half of HP, Chromebook. But for that you pay say for internet for me you power that you gadget, so you get very difficult because the people that way they London, if the picking gets that kind of sick and then they read about that, there's help out there, then go talk to professionals. But yeah, like what you say, most of we people in the communities there they get little or no education. The finance, the affordability for even going to private school very scant. So now a big issue where we they try for me we just raise the awareness. If you get a guy picking here, now you host, not say this wiki here, so now use this wiki. What big what you go do for me? Especially now when they talk about the autism, we don't plenty, but they all get special roles where they go play now they life there. People that they were autistic, if you remember where Prince Harry, where in West married, the Bobo we been go play na salon Bobo we play the na cello he play na person we himself get then kind thing here so but if mama don't support him, he don't do everything. He play the call for go play for the royal family. You don't know sometimes you begin that get that kind of talent thing. So all we appeal to comrades, to communities, let we not call their names. They all God make them for a purpose. We all God make it for a purpose. Everybody gets your own little thing where you go do in that community day. But the stigmatization, the name calling, where will they be judgmental for them picking us so now they make some they shy away, they go inside and shell. When some second day they know they come out inside that shell they again. You know that's so they go day. So we need for do that. So I want you to do a little bit of light on how we go appeal to like the Ministry of Health or even the Ministry of Education for let this thing be something where it will be like a national thing where everybody, like the people that in a village, they're going for benefit from this. What do you think say like the things that we will for put for let we able to do this?
Well, Salone is a wonderful place. The reason why I say Salone is a wonderful place, all what they talk so is already documented. It ain't a paper. If you look at the census reports, the recommendation they clearly what in the government supposed to do.
Waiting and see.
The recommendation I write them with like read and for alone what's in the recommendation for the census reports. Okay, now the law and day. Salone, we get laws. Sorry. So the law where Salone gets, it gets Article UN Convention of the Rights of the Child or the Rights of the Disabled Person, Article 7 and 24, says that people with disability need to be included. Again, if you look at Salone gets statistics of the number of all region people with disability. The only issue is when it comes to special needs, they class it as other. Yeah. Again, if you look at, they know exactly the people that will get albino, they know the people that will get congenital disease, they know the people that will get non-specific causes, they know the people that will get traffic accident. Although there's a debate about this 2015 census report from the disability, but there are clear recommendations that was stated. One of the recommendations was to include, again, to review the Disability Act 2011. So Salone gets a Disability Act of 2011. So people can just feel say there's no act. Salone is very good. We're very intellectual, and everything is on paper, but the implementation is where the situation is. So I cannot advise the government because the government has already been advised. I can only do my little contribution. Everything is documented. They have to review the act. They have to develop a disability policy to facilitate enhanced implementation of Disability Act. They also have to, December the 3rd, is to create an awareness and recognition of the right of the person with disability to participate in all sectors. So all what here don't talk so. In fact, the government have a copy now. Because not to me, then information here. Again, for adopt a compulsory free education for persons with disability of all stages of learning, primary, secondary, tertiary, and technical, to provide specialized training, learning materials for persons with disability, to support training for special needs teachers, to enforce the provision of adaptable, unstructured, for all this.
Everything.
If you not believe, when I look when I go online, I know say, oh man, just put census report 2015. The recommendation is all daily. So for me, I just go by the recommendation and do me little bit. The government is aware of all these things, but again, we all get for do a little bit because we cannot blame the government. Say they know they do this, they know they do that. We all the little bit what they do now for help them picking there. You see them at it, then check because again, we'll be the person at the community. If you are. Again, with certain community, you get to be very careful because there's so many protocol. So, they could just take somebody because you are work with them. You get for really work with the parents then. You get for ask permission as much as Salone do, we still get for seek consent.
Yeah.
We get for make sure they get for know it because when you see, you tell them picking and they say they can't take them, they see them again. Because, nobody normally picking, they take an eye. So the way we they do them, we go to the house, we help them with little things, we work with them. So we know they remove the okay and go inside. So everything I don't say so Salone no. The government, no, it's already documented. So it's just implementation, and everybody do their little bit.
Okay, so on that note, we go on for listening to one of the sponsors them, and then we will come back for can talk to una about special needs and disability awareness where we dey do today for let we know say them picking themselves, then get rights, then get them human rights for let them live and contribute to their own society where they're born. We not for call them name, we not for judge them, we not for judge them parents them. So now listen to one of our sponsors then now. Thank you. Okay, whilst we dey wait for the video, I just want for ask like if you know schools them presently where they na the country where na special needs school them, if you don't visit any or if you know of any and waiting actually then they do, if you know about any.
I know about two special needs schools. One open brightest beginning within a Congo course. It's a quite a good, very good school, and they're doing a very fantastic job. We get another one with Wellington, that Pen, where again they do a fantastic job. So, and we get the usual one, Walmano, when at blind school and school for the deaf. So then in a more disability. So there are schools coming up, and there are the two I mean.
Okay.
And those are the main two.
Okay.
Any other school?
Okay.
Yeah.
Abraham Sanko, good evening. Say my sister, well done.
Thank you.
Janet say, please post on the screen. Fatima Tabas say, my friend is very passionate about special needs, so she approached the Ministry of Education to assist the special need child. She was shocked to discover that the minister doesn't know the difference between disability and special needs. Well, this now, the two what they talk about, we need to talk about this more. And let you friend not relent, make it try, because ignorance they make people suffer. So if the minister not know, somebody for highlight them, somebody for teach them, because we dey learn every day. Every day we dey learn, so now a big task, huge task, like we say no Kabase. Fatma Tabase, having it on paper doesn't mean they know. They don't need those papers. That's not what is important to them. Not true. But it and we assume say them for no because they sit down back and put this paper. But as we know, SALONE, we need for the talk. So the more we talk, the more they will able for something. So now that.
Let's just say one thing to Fatima Ba.
Yeah.
It's easy for Lowy blame. You understand? It's easy for Lowy say having it on paper doesn't mean they know. It's there. It's everybody. For me, before I can SALONE, I don't do my research. I don't read. I don't find out about the policy in a SALONE. I don't come for the past 5 years before I decide say I come. So it's just like you go to school, you expect to get first class, then you not study for your exam, or you fail, you blame the teacher. The same thing we from the diaspora, we in Africa, let for low they stop pointing a finger. Low we just work with the people then and try and see. Low we do a little bit. This is not about blaming anybody for anything. So we need for just do it. If that person get passionate, not go get discouraged if the minister no. Minister then get bokutin and think about. Then get for maybe what in the need for do is appoint somebody where go be and then get somebody in the Ministry of Education, being a disability specialist. Then they have a person there for disability specifically. Suppose for that retire last year, but I know they don't appoint a new person. So then get within the organization, then get people in there. But whether they're knowledgeable about the topic or whether they're reading about the topic, again, it's their responsibility. But the information is there for people to read and to do their little bit.
Okay, so we did on Voice of SALONE Network, Voice of SALONE TV, we did talk about special needs and disability awareness. Just like when they say, we get big people that will not know the difference between what's in a special needs or disability, then another thing was strange, because like side and day way any side and put you so say you don't learn something but that particular thing. But we now so we know they do that kind of thing, they get away with and they choose. So may I just read what Janet Martha Musa say. The special education requirements of those with learning difficulties, emotional and behavioral problems, or physical disabilities. So it appears that they are educational requirements. Special needs is about education, disability is about your body, your brain, your senses being wired and tapped in a unique way. True. There are other schools that have been supporting children with SEND. The task force needs to be reinforced to take this to another level. If not, it will be like wasting water on dog's back. That's true. So that's why we want for keep on talking about what they talk about. Just like everything at salon, everything day, the knowledge day, the paperwork day, but how for implement them. That make I can always appeal to people that the diaspora. Like this Christmas, so we get thousands of people that will come all over the world we can a mama salon. If we always come, everybody your specialty what they do. If you been bring and come, you work na that your community day, you go left a little bit of knowledge day. But some of we will kind of for enjoy or we just then we only to corner because I can always appeal to we diasporans. And we get thousands of healthcare professionals. We get social workers, we get doctors, we get all kind like England no more. I go boast England no more in a small place. There was a census where we do 2014. We been get boku healthcare professionals when are from SALONE no more where they work at the National Health Service. If 10 of them and then they come Freetown or Salone every Christmas, then 10 and then at the village and then they go spend Christmas. If then every year 10 villages they get awareness for something, one thing or the other, every year that day they happen. Some man are Easter then they can, some man are fast month then they say them they keep the 30 days fast. Some then at Christmas then they can. If we all bring with little knowledge where we learn, believe me, it go good for we people there. Because when you come, they say, that person overseas, come on. That's the way you can say we so it look like say we go take that serious. We people that believe in we, especially when they come here and they come. Now maybe you can life for them say you're not doctor, you're not nurse, and they believe. When they go to the dollar, you cut the belly. Because they believe it and trust you, say you come on now with my country, you can do everything, So today we dey talk about special needs where we don't find out say lots of we begin in a salon neither. They get that specialist touch. Then we get loads of them again we get disability. Not just the physical disability where we they see them in a push chair or in a wheelchair. Then get intellectual disability, then get loads of things where wrong with we picking them. And as we they say we picking them, now then we future leaders. Now salon no more sometimes we not see lots of people that waiting into government when are disabled people. Except when we been see Attila, we grab it enough for disabled people in this country. But other country then you see somebody a big person in parliament, he gets in policy where they car, he gets special motor car, everything where he reach the ramp there where they car and go straight to office. Look what's that man name? That professor where died 2 years ago he died. That scientist where in Nigeria, Hopkins or anything. Yes. Then the one that said we get sense where they work at the talk. Nobody know the way we get sense past that man. They gonna inside wheelchair. They even breathe in a machine. They breathe for her. They know able to talk. Now machine they talk for her. But look what he do for science. So let we not say who picking them because then there's small disability. We chop in a village where people in the car go inside, come and go inside. Because that's what they do. We don't want let people then see them. But then you not go blame them. The name calling, the stigmatization, they say that person don't born picking. Now they will picking, not they talk, it must just open pits they run on a month every day. When the woman see una the car, go wrong with him picking. So it's fine for me. We just learn for appreciate them picking here. So we not say difficult. Na place like salon is so difficult because you want for do so much for you picking them. You want for do so much, but you're not able. So on that note, I go want for make you give a last word so the people that way they listen to you. Waiting that you don't take on all these special needs, waiting that you take on this disability awareness where you want for make we start for do waiting at the way forward. I want you left that
Well,
message there.
the way forward for me is rather than be an activist, be an advocate. So me on take me on what me they do, I'm advocating for them. And they advocate for make sure say they get the service where they need, for make sure say they get if they sick for go to doctor, even if they want for go school, the school go I'll work with the school. But the difficulty is most school then will say they get specialists, they don't need you. But if me they work with the Pekin, I will make sure say the Pekin access school and get the help we need. And again, the media, I'm appealing to the media. The media need for the show Pekin that we get disability. Now, I know one day see radio or even AYV or any other radios, because now they get for show example first. I know say they get one blind, they do that talent show, maybe they're blind, but let them look at that in a disability, let them look at special needs like Down syndrome, autism, they want the way get the learning disability. Let them put them in the media for do adverts, for do different in them. So let them know say the disability is not means they're disabled. Some of them have the ability to do a lot of things. So do you are the big in our community as well, when I get picking their way is slow. Not call them full, just help them. Work with them. See how you go help them the little way. You know they beat them all the time because the more they beat them, the more you know they will learn. So now that nobody appeal. And look, we just embrace each other. Let's just love each other. This is our Valentine month, number love, isn't it?
Yes.
so I want to extend the love throughout the year, not just February no more. But to the end picking them, they do big. That's it.
So this time Mrs. Aisha Bangura and I don't talk to her today about special needs and disability. We want for raise this awareness. We don't say Boku Boku Group Day. We want for commend John Koroma, they self get their young autism awareness where then they do. I think April, the first week of April, either April 2nd, get for be autism day. Una let we raise the awareness, let we talk to comrade. If you born you begin, it don't take 5 years, 6 years, it not talk. That not means that you not go able for do anything. And the most sad part of it, na salon for picking away autistic, we not get speech therapies, but like way Mrs. Bangura been they say maybe the speech side of autism not so like the end all or be all.
No, there's they get a lot of ways where you can read to the beginning, you can continue to communicate. There's a lot of resources online, although you will say no, they will access that. But it's simple talk to the beginning they understand. Unless if they get hearing problem, they know they hear, but they understand basic instruction and sometimes they pick up the words, the simple words. Like if they begin 8, you're gonna use maybe one word, not use too much vocabulary. Then you extend that to 2 words. So there are techniques where you can use. You need a qualified speech therapist, or you can liaise with anybody. Most speech therapists overseas are willing to exchange information and to support you if you have a child or you get somebody who you work with. Well, that's what me go do anyway. If I work with beginner, like the beginner I work with, so I will liaise with my team in London and see if anybody want to know when a speech therapy, occupational therapist, or even physiotherapist, go to the mastership. Because my plan is to work with professionals here and abroad and see how we will come together and enhance their beginning quality of life.
So yeah. Now the message that if you get them picking your so do you are not hide them inside us. The one that we know they talk, put them at school. You don't know when that talk they go come out. They get other thing the way they do. Picking and they will get autism, then sabi do God and kind of day. If you put me before they say do all this woman, they go do all me face like saying a picture you take of me. Then they will, if like guitar they say and they play, then kind of go the piano, any kind of music instruments you give them. God just give them that sense day, then they do one. So do ya let we not get that kind of picking and they will look up on and say, hey, this weekend, what's this gonna do for me tomorrow? Let not even waste me money for put at school. I not go even buy clothes for let just a worker and like say no get owner. No. Now you born and you responsible for her. And we for try. We for try for me we educate with people there. Pikin when you born am, now you don't bring her to the world. Anyhow it be, now your responsibility. And like Salone, not so like how many years back, from 2011, they don't get Disability Act. When them picking they don't recognize them. They don't know say them for go school. If they're sick now for care, they go hospital. All the law then they the act day. So anybody who broke that law day because you born the pikin, you say in face like moon, then they call them names there. You supposed for even later person then complain if that person they talk that name but you pikin. Because at that day they make people then they hide with them pikin. Yeah. Now devil pikin, the pikin head big. Every day they pit, in clothes always so. Yes, when they get disability, something like that, they happen to them. And not so they end all and be all dandy. Then we'll try for do other things then. So we want for stop there for tonight. We hope say what we don't tell you about special needs and disability. It will go now yes. And una say go try for educate you next door neighbor. We get loads of groups there. Salone so blessed. All the NGO that they come for help. Now so we get the local communities then back where they come together. Look at the group we are joined recently. They call themselves the Southern Province Women's Network. One pikin where they rape na bond. Now they don't make it, they don't bring the pikin now, they don't go and go hospital. They get the northerners, they get the eastern one, they get western area one. So imagine we get so much help. People that so left this country, people that they left their work there and the diaspora said that they get thousands of pounds and they kaya for work with the people there. We get blessing. Not just with your people there, they can the waste people themselves where they can also. All we need for them is for embrace people there, for appreciate them. Not to anything about money. You then are your community, the little thing where you're able for do for people that they go a long way. This way we they do. Now God no more they pay we for our they know they pay we will not they ask for pay because we know say if we talk to with people they how would they talk to them every day? We go save somebody in life, we go save pikin in life, we go make people that look differently at certain things the way they don't know. Because even in the Bible they say ignorance we make my people suffer. So we person not know something in not know. But if where we they talk about different things do ya anything where you able for do that your community do am. Even now then they talk about coronavirus. Every time I can present I go talk about something when hygiene. Wash your hand. When you go toilet, wash your hand. You go to another corner, you pee, so you come out and wash your hand. Because you don't know the two that come out your body, it then your hand. Boku jams the way we carry. Now we hand it there. You sneeze now your hand, you go hold door handle, you go rub up on something. The next person will go touch am. It catch with you get common cold. Now that way they pass. Boku where Ebola done. All the buckets that will be there now, all the strategic points there for them with the wash hand, all disappear. Now they say coronavirus don't come. The same thing. Now you hand back now they carry the germs. Now they don't put the buckets them back. So man, now one hand they was you hold it back with the other one. You help, now you responsible for. And also government will teach you say when you come out toilets for wash your hand. Before you touch your food, you for wash your hand. Whole day you don't work out. You don't touch all kinds of stuff. When you eat now, also do your wash your hand before you eat. Just like what we they do. This virus don't come. We got Chinese people in this country. So we know they say they go bring them for real. But even Boku secret way we get whether you come on China or a salon no more you did. If you not practice that basic hygiene, that hand washing, if you not practice that day, you go always get sick, diarrhea, you go vomit, picking them, like what they talk about. Picking them, we're already sick, we already get special needs, we already get disabilities. If they're sick, then they hold them. Not a good thing for we to come around them. So do you as a country with a big law practice with basic hygiene, wash your hand. After every procedure where you do, wash your hand with soap. We don't say water business stronger, but buy that water, then you wash your hand, then you save your life and your family their life. Because anything where you care go that you use, that part money you go back by all man, and you don't want that. So on that note, I want to make we stop there today, and next week back we will come with other good health talk again. Do ya mama de? Nyogo gede uma mende yemu. Ke jepeji hamunde ma ko nubu ko ke ina drilo bi agaga hu igbe eyepe. Ebu akwega sag baga sakwega konele bagu pindi ma bagu lo kukobu. Gbe anu ga tingulo. Dwe jun tuko ga nyenga ke ndopuina go hingbengo. Tabe anuvi mi agie indaga na tapingova. Bagulo kukwe bugu konu ga tabi yelo binte nguli tabi yelo bindo penala yepe tabi yelo bindo penala giyame na kyango ondaya bongo la tabi yelo ke bafala na le abilui highway bu pomelo na tiva ivi government tv sala ke yindo pena sia pomelo tiva konele bande galo ingbe bile yatima le ati highway bu muya mu ko iwa mulo kwejisi na mia yehi gbeji potoma majo agbamoko ma bi apobo mebe bi yawa pe bi ya meme ye na ba me tami akunle vebie to kunle wa magbo bibi ye yawa lo bepe amema upena kole na wa pe na bu upe wa ha konele mumo epo mangbe gwameti ana endeji pe we magbo o nyande ko bia vi bi loko he bi egbebu bi ndaga ngweva. So we said we ha wa wai go I bomma next week bomma wa mu e programa apike pole mu ko ke kangwe tamia pateli mi gangbe a ina be gbogbe be na le bi gangbe angwe pate wa mi ana nga na hange wa ti gbatego teguta meme ke bi agbogbe be ya ina be fanye le bi melo ha ko gangbe ango so mu segbe uma next week Bowa Uolo Nama. So thank you very much for everybody who has watched. I don't know if we have new people that joined us, but we have lots of people watching us on Facebook, and I know there are people watching us on YouTube. So we want to say thank you for watching. We want to tell you all thank you, whether they watch, whether they in a diaspora where they watch, whether they in salon where they watch. You know, continue for share the video. Any video we'll do now continue for watch, because as people they watch them every day, that's why they empower themselves with information. Because the information what they give now, we are not able for pay with for them, we they learn for can give now back, let una self learn, let una self be people them, we go be advocates, like what Miss Aisha say, not for just be activists, advocates for the one that way you know say need advocacy. Let we advocate so we begin them. So dear, on that note, we want to say bye-bye to una. We want to say good night, and we will see you back next week by God in your power. Not so by your power, by God in your power. And salon, let's practice with hand washing. Yeah? The virus, they're not so just coronavirus, but virus, the way they can just from dirty hands. So let's do ya. Let we try and take care of ourselves. We'll tell you good night and bye-bye. God bless you now.
Good night.
Good night.
Cotton Tree Pharmacy is your new trusted provider of pharmacy services in Sierra Leone. You can count on Cotton Tree Pharmacy for genuine quality brand name and generic medicines. Guaranteed refills for prescriptions issued by doctors in Sierra Leone or abroad. Door-to-door medication delivery service in Freetown and beyond. Free health education. Have you heard about our Diaspora Medicine Connect? With Cotton Tree Pharmacy's Diaspora Medicine Connect, anyone can pay for your prescription online. Bring your prescription to 17 Pademba Road. Collect an invoice. Send your invoice to your sponsor in the diaspora. Your sponsor pays for your prescription online. We deliver your medication to you. For quality prescription and medications, visit Cotton Tree Pharmacy at 17 Pademba Road in Freetown. Have questions? Call our pharmacist on WhatsApp at 030-611-664 or visit our website at www.cottontreemedicalgroup.com. Come to Cotton Tree Pharmacy. We are ready to fill your next prescription.
Why do a website when you can create an app for your business for free? Yes, with TAV App Maker, you can make an app as easy as pie. It only takes a few minutes. Simply choose a design template you like, add the features you want, and once you are happy with the results, publish it to Google Play and Apple Store, so your clients can download your app. Go to TAVAppmaker.com and create your free app today.